Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies. With the 29th pick in the NFL draft, the New Orleans Saints select Bryan, Bresee, defensive tackle from Clemson. Now, let's just start off with this guy's background. He was the #1 rated recruit coming out of high school 3 years ago in the 2020 class, so obviously he has all the talent in the world. If we just start to look at some of his measurements, 6'5 and a half, 300 pounds, has good arm length, ran a 4.8 40-yard dash at 6'5", 300. That's absolutely amazing. 29-inch vertical jump, 22 bench press. But this guy's good. I know a lot of y'all, already, just coming here for the film breakdown. That's definitely going to come. We're definitely going to watch the line. A lot of Bryan. It's Bresee. I think that's how it's pronounced. Bresee. It's spelled, I don't know, you could pronounce it Bresee, but I think it's Bresee or something like that. So Bryan Bresee, defensive tackle, Clemson. Excited for this pick. We definitely need to, beef up this interior after losing Anyamata, Shad Tuttle, Kentavious Street, Marcus Davenport. We definitely had to get guys, on this defensive line. And I really like this pick. The way the draft was going, it was going to be a lot of good guys available at 29. Mozzie Smith went a couple picks before. We had Kalijah Kancey, I think, go 19th to the Bucks. He was the guy I really wanted. So, and a lot of people were down on Kalijah Kancey. So obviously, another team saw something, to take him top 20. Good talent there. But we ended up selling with Bresee from Clemson. I do like the pick. I didn't watch as much film on him just because I didn't think he honestly was going to be there. I didn't think he was going to be there for the Saints. A lot of people had him going either mid-first or early second, so that was kind of his range right there. He had like a 20-pick range, but I do like this pick. Like I said, we needed to beef up that interior. The run game last year was pathetic. It was pathetic from the defensive tackles. That's just where it starts. The defensive tackles just were not good in the run game last year. He also can rush the passer a little bit. Like I said, he's athletic. He's not just a run-stopping, defensive tackle. He can play all three downs. Now, if you're a stats guy, if you look at his stats, they don't jump off the page at you. But like I said, he plays defensive tackle, and stats don't always tell, the entire story. His freshman year at Clemson, played in 11 games, had 23 total tackles, 6.5 tackles for loss, and 4 sacks. The next year after that, he only played 4 games. I think he had an ACL surgery. And then this past season, he played in 10 games, had 15 total tackles, 5.5 for loss, and 3.5 sacks. Like I said, those numbers would not jump off the page. But he's a defensive tackle, and man, the numbers rarely tell the entire story. We'll definitely jump into it, watch some full games, see what he has going on. I know they had some really good games. He played in a lot of big games in his career, so I do like that. And I really do like this pick for the Saints. We could have, went crazy. Could have went with the flare pick, got a receiver or something like that, or a corner, or, a nickel guy like Brian Branch from Alabama. But with a pick 40 still on the board, we had some options. The running backs went very early in the draft. I do think that surprised a lot of people. You got Bijan at 8 to the Falcons, and I think Gibbs went 12 to the Lions. That's very early. Some people wanted the running back at 29, but with those two guys gone, it just made no sense to take a running back, at 29 with the guys available. It's interesting what we're going to do with that 40th pick, but more on Bryan Bresee, man. I think it's a really good pick. And the one thing the Saints show you, man, they're going to stick to what they do. They're going to stick to what they do. They're going to pick these big linemen. They like the big, tall, physical guys. They don't want the speed rusher like the Nolan Smith from Georgia coming off the edge. He was one of my favorites. You got a defensive end that runs 4.3. I think he just ended up going to Georgia while I'm making this video. I mean, not to Georgia. Ended up going to Philadelphia while I'm making this video. So they end up getting him and Jalen Carter. What a draft they're having. I don't want to make this too long because I'm about to go find a game film and just go right at that. So I do like the pick. A lot of people have been asking me already, do I like the pick? I do like the pick. I did tweet about 30 or 40 minutes before the Saints made the pick that I thought he was going to be the pick. And it doesn't shock me. I knew we were going to get a defensive tackle or a defensive end, and how it fell. I do think he was the best player available for the Saints at that moment. So I'm excited for the pick. Can't wait to go watch this film. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below about this pick. Let me know who y'all wanted if y'all didn't want him. I know a lot of people wanted the defensive end, and a lot of people wanted skill positions. But let's all just be thankful because Will Levis was falling, and if the Saints picked him, it was going to be a totally different person on this microphone. I'll tell you that right now. But, man, thank y'all for tuning in once again. This is the Boot Tragedies, and I'm out.